it's Nicole here with Mr. Shadow. We're going to be working on our walking basics right now. And Shadow initially got very excited. He's getting out of the back area, thinks he might be going home. However, he's not, so he's a little bit excitable right now. So in the beginning, when we walk our dogs, usually we think that a walk is going to provide adequate exercise. However, when we do take them on a walk and they haven't previously exercised, we get a lot of that excitement, a lot of the energy, and sometimes that can lead to pulling, overexcitement, things like that. So, just a tip, before you take Shadow out for a walk, when you want to work on his manners, things like that, try to exercise him a little bit beforehand. Play a little bit of ball with him, let him run around in the backyard, and then at that point in time when you notice that his energy level's draining a little bit, that's the perfect time to take him out and start working on healing. Shadow. Good boy. Alright, so because I don't have the same bond that you have with Shadow there, it's going to be easier for me to motivate him with food. And I think it might be a lab mix, possibly, but he sure loves his food. So, and also, one other thing is that when you do have him and he's really excited outside, have some treats that are of higher value than the regular run-of-the-mill biscuits and things like that. Something with some real meat in there. He's going to get really excited, and it'll be easier for him to accept those treats when you have him on a walk. And perhaps, you're having a little bit of trouble with him sitting down or something like that. Utilizing the power of food, bring him to a sit, and then at that point you can treat him. Alright, so I do have him on what's called a slip lead. Now this enables me to have the lead in the proper place, which is right at the top part of the neck, behind the ears. And because Shadow is a very strong boy, and if he wants to go somewhere, he'll probably take you there, this enables me to have an easier time controlling him. And if you can control your dog's head, you can control your dog as a whole. So just remember, I'm going to have this in the proper placement right at the top part of the neck, directly behind the ears. And this has an awesome little leather strap that I can secure it with, so I know that it's not going to get too loose and fall down at the base of the neck. If the collar does this, it definitely gives it that harness effect, encourages pulling, so on and so forth. Alright, so when we start off on our walk and we're asking our dogs to heel, I like to use something that creates some noise, gets their attention onto me. So all I do is ask them to heel. While I'm stepping, I'm going to slap my leg. That's going to get their attention. The sound pricks their ears up. They're going to wonder what's going on, why is she making that noise? I'm going to ask them to heel. Now when they do not heel, I want to avoid pulling back or lifting them up this way or jerking them around, things like that we want to avoid. So let's say he's floating around over here, he's not really healing. One option you may have would be to go in the opposite direction. He has no choice but to follow you. So if you're going one way, Shadow decides to go the other, turn around, beeline it in the opposite direction. And because of the placement of the lead on Shadow's neck, he's going to have no choice but to follow you. And when he does, you're going to mark the behavior. When he goes into a heel, which is not in front, not behind, not out to the side of you, you're going to mark the behavior with a yes or a good. For example, sit. Yes. Treat. That's all it is. Sorry about the noise up there. So, just like I was saying, we mark the behavior. So, if you ask Shadow to sit as soon as his little booty sits on the ground, yes or good. And at that point in time, he can get a treat or affection. Okay, so we're going to start our healing right now. And just remember, the slap on the leg, making that sound, healing, that's very important. We always want a sound to be present. In addition to, I automatically make a noise. I can't help it. It's just something that I do. but if you have your own unique little way of getting him to heel, just remember to be consistent with that. Okay. All right, so here we go. Yep. Right? He's doing a fabulous job. Sit. Yes. Good sit. Good sit. And we want to make it a habit that every single time he goes and, you know, we stop when we're on a walk, you know, maybe you stop at a corner, there's some cars around. We want to make sure to ensure his safety that he sits every single time we stop. We don't want a Shadow floating around. It's dangerous. We want to make sure he's with us at all times and he's in the same location. So if you're stopping, have him sit down every single time. And again, we're marking the behavior with a yes or a good. Okay, and another one of those options that I was talking about before I kind of started babbling on there is that when we have Shadow at the heel, he's on our left-hand side. He's on our left-hand side. So he gets a little bit in front of us. Again, I want to... Good boy! Good boy! Good boy! That was great. He just saw one of the employees that he really, really loves, and he did a fabulous job not bum rushing her. Love that. He gets a treat for being such a good boy. Yes. Yes. Fabulous. Okay, anyway. Good. Good boy. So if we have Shadow, and he gets a little bit in front of us, again we want to avoid pulling him back or anything like that. We want to simply put our foot right in front of him. So, in a heel, oh, choking on the treat there. In the heel, we're going to stop him from going forward. Good, how are you? Just coughed up a little bit of that lamb treat there. But we have him on the left-hand side. We're going to use our body against him and put our foot in front of him. This is going to prevent him from going into a full-on, let me drag you down the street. Good. Yes! Good sit. So again, just like I demonstrated, you're basically going to make left-hand turns, getting right in front of him. He's going to go to the heel, and when he does, good. When he does, we're going to mark it with a yes or a good. So just remember, start off slowly when you start walking him, and you're really going to be working on the heel and things. So if you have him at home, put him on the lead first. After you exercise him, have him walk around the house with you on a lead. He needs to get into the habit of being in that heel as much as possible. And of course, when you take him out, he's going to get a little bit excited about certain things. So just kind of gauge his reactions based on what you encounter. So if something's going to be a little bit too much stimuli for him, then try to avoid that area in the meantime. Just remember that the more distractions that are around, the less learning takes place. So start off with him in the house, on the lead, have him sit every single time, and remember to mark those behaviors. Every single time he does something, yes or good, and then you can give him affection or a treat. He does such a good job though, and he's such a big, strong puppy, and I know you guys are doing a great job with him. He's such a sweetie. But this has been Nicole here with Mr. Shadow. Been going over the basics of healing. Bye!